want to show off how to do some in-game, in-world UI. I haven't done a lot of UI stuff, so I'll do some this week, and I'll also go over some stuff next week. This is kind of relevant if you're using Playmaker or not, and in-game UI is used for all kinds of things. You see in-game UI for like health bars, for waypoint text, for like, oh, interact with this thing. Whatever it is, you might want something that interacts, that shows a UI element in the world. So I'm going to make a simple example of where you might find this useful. A 2x3 grid, make a directional light, and I'm going to make a cube. This cube I'm just going to set up so that it will randomly move between some pre-designated points. Projects, classwork. I'm going to do this using Playmaker, but you can do this using kind of whatever you need to. You can kind of get gratuitous, like there are some games that do too much of this, but like things like Call of Duty or Halo will show like icons over grenades, right? So UI in world when you're playing it, so you sometimes will see where they are, and stuff like this is helpful. And thankfully, there's like built-in behavior to allow you to bind UI to be shown in the world. I think there's this cube. I'm going to add a Playmaker FSM. I'm just going to have it wander. And the vector. I'm just going to have it move between 4 different types of areas. Okay. Store that in a direction. Direction in cell space. So I just set up a cube to kind of wander around randomly. This cube is going to represent the thing that has my UI in the world. Every 2 seconds is going to pick a new direction. So I want to attach like a health bar to this thing, because I think that health bars on top of enemies in the world are really common, like God of War does it, and other games you might want to have show this behavior. So I'm going to add a new FSM that is strictly for showing health. And I have some textures that I actually want to import. So I'm going to copy them into here. I have this texture pack. So I have some simple textures that are good for progress bars. So I'm going to actually use some of these for the progress bars. There's like backgrounds and progress bar foregrounds as well. Use that here, like these ones here. They're kind of, the textures themselves are kind of broken up into left and right, but I'm only going to use the middle one for now. So there's a lot of ways to do UI in Unity. One of the ways that you can set up UI is that you can use what's called layouts. And GUI layouts are a way to organize lots and lots of different types of UI together and have it automatically formatted, so you don't have to like constantly position every single UI element. You can actually set it up so that you have a frame, and then all of your UI elements are sorted inside that frame. And I need this here because I'm going to use a layout that lets me attach a texture to a guy in the world. So here, if I go in the action browser, and I lost it. So if I go in my action browser and I type GUI layout, you see all these various actions that you can use to format your GUI. In the case of a health bar, I'm only interested in this area to follow an object, which will let me have a box that I can put all these textures in, and it'll follow that object throughout the world. And The thing to remember about GUI layouts, though, is that anytime you have a begin action, you also have to have a corresponding end action along with it. So if I have this begin area follow object, and I am going to use it on my health, I add this action to my list. I also need an end area, too. So I have a begin and an end. And you need this. You can kind of think of it as it wrapping up each of your UI elements in like a container. So your area that you have it to follow an object in the world needs to also have a begin and an end. So here I'm going to have a begin and end area. And by itself, it doesn't look like anything because we actually haven't added anything in between them. Anytime you're using GUI layouts, you want stuff in between the begin and end, and that's what's going to get drawn. So in the case here, I'm going to say draw texture. So when I draw a texture, it's going to draw that texture in the area that I specified for my layout. So I'm going to pick my texture here. So I have this texture, and I'm just going to have it use, you can do this checkbox here. Instead of doing normalize from 0 to 1, you can just have it literally specify the exact coordinates of how big you want it to be. So I can take my texture and I can stretch it out to look more like a health bar. In this case, I want it to be 128 by 32. And I want to kind of position it so that, I want to position it so it's kind of above his head. So width is going to be 128, 32, and begin area, I'm going to move this thing to be maybe 0. The width of this is going to be the same. I'm going to offset this so it's actually above this guy's head. This is going to act as a health bar. And using a draw texture will let me get away with the behavior of drawing multiple things at once. All a health bar really is just a background and the actual health progress bar. So I have this green one that I can use for the texture. And if you see, all I have to do to make a health bar work is just drag this guy backwards and forwards for the width, and it'll act like a health bar. So here I have my texture. Maybe I want to make this thing like 16, maybe 64. That seems like a more reasonable health bar. Move it off to the left here. And this guy here, I'll also have it be 64 and 16, 64 and 16. And I'm just going to try setting it to be like maybe half health for now. I'm going to play the game. And what's cool is that because I have the follow object, as it moves around the level, my health bar follows the object too. Right? So you can imagine that as he loses health, like he actually would show it up on a health bar. Cool. So I want this health bar value to actually be driven by something in script, in my playmaker. I don't want it to just be something that's typed in here. So I'm going to make a variable that's going to be used for the current health, and then another variable that's going to be used for max health. Because my current and max health aren't necessarily always going to be exactly related to the size of my texture. Maybe my max health is like 1,000, and maybe my current health is like 700. In the case where my current health is 700 and my max health is 1,000, my progress bar should be 70% full, right? So I'm going to make another variable to show progress bar or health bar width. And this health bar width is going to control the current size of my health bar. And I got one more, which is going to be default health bar width. And this is going to be equal to 64. I know that I want to be 64 pixels wide. And I'm going to use every place that I have 64. I'm going to replace it with a default health bar width here, default health bar width here, and default health bar. This one's actually not going to be default. This is going to be health bar width here. So now I have a variable controlling it. If I play, and currently it's like I have 0 health, but now if I adjust this value, the health bar width, it adjusts the progress from here. So all I have to do is in Playmaker, as long as I can update this variable to represent the percentage of health I have, my UI will update automatically. So what I'll do, I'm going to do a float divide. I'm going to figure out what percentage of my health is actually used for the UI. So I need a float divide to figure out my current health over my max health. So I'm going to take my current health divided by max health. The only problem with this is that it actually modifies this float variable, which I don't like. So I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to set a float. I need a temporary float variable to store this in. I'm going to use health bar width. I'm going to set it equal to current health. Then I'm going to take my health bar width, divide it by the max health. This is going to store 0.7 inside this variable now. And then I need to take that 0.7. I need to multiply it by the default float, by the default health bar width. So there's three things I'm doing. One, I'm currently initializing this to my current health. Then I'm figuring out how much of my health is compared to my max health. I'm going to take that percentage, I'm going to multiply it by the default width. So what does this look like? So I'm going to actually play this. So right now, health bar width is 44.8. I'm actually going to pause and step. When this thing starts, I'll do this. Health bar width is 0. And then it's going to first initialize health here to be 700. So this is actually going to take 700 divided by 1,000 here and store it into here. Then it's going to take that, which is 0.7, and multiply it by 64. So what is 0.7 multiplied by 64? Should be 44.8. Cool. And what that means is that when I'm playing now, I can take my health, and as I'm adjusting it, I have 700 health now, but if I have 200 health, that's how much it is. If I have 100 health, that's how much my progress bar is. 900 health, that's 90% full. So I can take this, whatever my health is, that controls how much progress I have. If I take my max health, my guy just went off screen. Hey, buddy. Oh, no, you fell off. It's fine. I can also adjust the max health, and it'll update the progress bar accordingly. Like, maybe I leveled up a bunch, and now I have 2,000 health, right? Oops, 2,000 health. So when I have 2,000 health, 1,000 out of that is a much smaller. If I have 20,000 health, it's also much smaller than that. So now my progress bar is dynamic based on how much health I have. So I have 5,000 health, and that's how much my progress bar shows, right? So I can do something now where I can add another script to this guy, where it's like idle. And maybe when I press get key down, space, I'm going to subtract health. Subtract health, go in here, subtract health. And what I can do is I can take my variable, I need to make it global now, so I go to my health. I'm going to make a global variable called health now. Health. Default this to, I don't know, 700. Delete this guy. And update these guys here. Health. Cool. Go to my FSM here, which I'm going to name Damager. And I'm going to subtract from here, maybe, I don't know, 75. So when I play now, every time I hit spacebar, it's going to subtract health from this guy and update it appropriately on the progress bar. And you could also do something where maybe get key down on return, we'll add health instead. So this could be used for interactions. I can do this, and I can add health. So maybe you're hitting a guy in your level, and you want to represent what his health is like as he's moving, right? And you can do other things, too, with a layout. It doesn't always have to be a single texture with the GUI layout, you can add anything. Like you can add labels. I can go into my health here. And in between my begin area and my end area, I can add any other GUI element, like buttons or boxes. I can add a label above him. If I show here, I can have the label say, like, health. And I can position this guy. Maybe I want it to be 128 by 64. And I could just position this guy to be above, as long as I have my height. Oops. Okay, my height 32. Anything that you put in between the layouts will follow him now. So you can have text, you can have objectives, you can have images, whatever you want will follow him around. So it's useful to do if you have a game element that you want to show. Maybe you have a power-up that has a timer associated with it, and the timer represents how much time you have left on it, and you want that thing to go down as the time runs out. So you can do that here too.
What about enlarging the text and scaling of the texture itself for perspective?
Yeah, the text is a little bit of a pain because GUI labels, you can't easily adjust the size of the text here. You actually have to apply a style to it. But the textures you could totally scale. You could have this health bar width take into account a scale, right? You could actually add a variable which is scale. And maybe by default it's 1, right? And so you can actually have your health bar width multiplied by the scale every frame, right? You take your default health bar width, so you can do this, multiply, float. So here, right after you calculate what the size of it should be, you can take that health bar width and multiply it by the scale too. And then what you do is that you take that scale and you figure out how close they are to you versus how far away they are, and you increase it or decrease it based on the distance to you, based on how much you want to increase. And that'll shrink or grow the progress bar size as they get further away. Okay. Next week I want to go over skins too, because I see a lot of this, like we make a button, right? So you have like, maybe you even have like here inside one of these guys. Maybe I'll add a new one. You know, add like a GUI button. Even in script, if you have a button, right? So I showed you this a while ago. You have a button and they all look the same, right? Same text, same everything. Well, you can change this. You can actually change the style by making it your own. And I'll show you guys that next week, so you guys can actually customize the style. So you can put like custom button styles on your things like these, anything that you want. Because right now, whenever you do this, it has the default like hover like behavior and the default click behavior, but maybe you want to do something more interesting than that. You actually want to author these buttons yourself. Same with like the way checkboxes work. All right. Any other questions?